You're now listening to the show about the shit in life that's just a bit too much, from the perspective of stand-up comics. With our hosts, Carmelo Bongiovi and Ken Krantz. This week's topic, Logistics Part 1. With our guest, Liz Glazer. This is A Bit Too Much.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for coming.
Having me, for sure. Yeah.
Got away from the 2-year-old for the day?
I did. I mean, so we're away for the week, and I really love a good logistics day. And so when you were like, I don't know if you noticed how quickly I was like, yes.
Yeah. I was shocked and surprised. And
yeah,
delighted.
totally. Okay, well, I'm glad we can talk about it because, first of all, I'm a very quick replier.
Yeah.
I hope you've noticed.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am too.
Are you?
Sometimes I'm like, is this too eager?
Yeah.
Especially when you get booked, like if somebody's like, hey, give me dates. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got it. Here's my 17 dates.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
that's so pathetic of me.
Oh, yeah. I don't
I
really...
feel like that, like insecure about how quick I reply.
I'm over that. So I did used to be a lawyer, and for a couple of years I was like a associate in a law firm where your immediate reply is like feels like life or death, and it's just never been beaten out of me in any way. And so there's that, but also I do love when logistics work out. And so you were like Homedale. I don't know if you're public about where you record.
No, yeah, that's fine. Okay, we talked
got
about
it.
buildings.
Okay, cool. There's a bunker in the basement anyway. We'll be safe, even if someone...
Right.
But I mean, we're particularly worried about the cast of Severance stalking us.
Yeah,
I feel like
because they would be like, oh my God, this is where they do that show.
Yeah, this is that podcast. And Ben Stiller has been on my tail is like a problem for me, I would say.
Yeah.
So anyway,
like,
but...
You got on that show? How'd you get on that show? You got on?
Exactly.
They had availability
Totally.
for
You should have them on. On the podcast.
Totally.
Yeah, I think you should. I hear they reply right away. That's what I heard. Okay.
They're big logistics people.
Assuming it's their innies. But you don't watch because you can't get into it. Like my mother. That's what I was going to say. So you can't get into Severance. And my mother is the only other person who's like, Elizabeth, I cannot get into that show. And I'm like, well, it's amazing. So you should.
I keep hearing that, and I tried. And the thing is, I didn't watch.
How much did you try? Like, how many episodes?
4 episodes.
Yeah.
Like the first season.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And that's the building that we go to.
Yeah,
and
it is. It sure is.
Yeah.
That kind of makes me want, because I haven't even started it.
Yeah.
I know we haven't done it. We're going to just do like a binge soon.
Yeah.
But
you should binge it here.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's something you never get to do.
Right.
Right? Like,
Yeah. That would be really amazing. Because there's a lot in this building on that show. Like
you see a lot of the building.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, it's a workplace, I guess, comedy, kind of.
Like dark comedy, right?
Very dark.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, fine. So you haven't seen it, so that's not the most fun topic. But I reply very eagerly. That is true. Sorry for the sound on that, Christian. But also... I was very excited because we're staying for the week in Asbury.
Yeah, close by. Okay.
Yeah, 28 minutes. Well, 32 without a toll. If it's 4 minutes, I'm going no toll.
No toll.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not worth it. And I'm always early. Well, the last time you saw me, I was late. But I was thinking about that because
it's our only experience together. You were late.
Yeah, so you might have thought.
So I don't think you're an early person.
Well, right.
But now I think you're an early person.
Exactly. But because
you're as early today as you were late there.
Correct. But I wasn't.
So you're on time to me.
But is it late if...
No, you weren't.
So it averages out. You're on time.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't even think of that as a late, even though I take your point.
Well, you're not. No, you're not.
Right.
You weren't actually, because you didn't miss your time.
Well, I didn't miss my time, but also I was like going, because I had a show before in Fairfield, New Jersey.
Oh,
and
wow.
So,
that's right. We were in Rockland County, New York. So
right.
That's a far drive.
Right.
Yeah.
We were in Piermont, and then I was in Fairfield earlier that night for an earlier spot.
That's not really.
But I love, I don't know about you, Carmelo, or Ken, like, how do you feel? Because you both do comedy. And so the idea of like if I get one show, it is too exciting for me to not also book a second show.
Yeah.
Then be within inches of my life getting to that second show. And like, for those who haven't experienced it, like, if you watch Fast and Furious, which I haven't, do you watch those? You've seen all 9?
No,
or
I've never
seen the first 2.
Okay, I haven't even seen.
I've not.
But I'm
seen
guessing they're riding
out.
pretty quickly in a car. That's my
You've
take.
got the general premise.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
but they're like angry about it. I feel like.
Yeah, but
well,
like,
yeah, very,
right,
very.
right, furiously, as it were. But I, like, you would think if you had a dash cam on my car going between spots, you'd be like, who is she on her way to murder? Because the commitment, the focus, like, it's so intense.
Yeah.
And I think I love that even more than doing comedy.
Wait, specifically
you
the
just love
traffic on the way to a gig.
yourself.
Yeah, because
You feel important,
I have
right,
to.
in that moment?
Well,
You're like,
there
ooh.
is
You were a lawyer,
maybe, but
so
I
maybe
was
you just
sitting at a
live on
desk.
that stress.
Yeah, maybe. I think that's what I'm concluding is just that I'm addicted to the stress of it, because that has to be why.
Yeah.
Because like I have this show on October 9th. I'm not promoting it. I mean, I'm not promoting it. Now
Promote
I
it.
feel like an asshole that,
promote
sorry.
it.
But anyway, I said I work clean and then here I am. But anyway, so I feel, I don't mean to be mean about the show, but I'm not specifically promoting whatever, but it's this is a New Jersey thing. So it's at the Stress Factory and I'm like, it's at 8. Could I do closing a 8:45 show in Jersey City? And that is,
I'm going to tell you, you cannot.
well, but the thing is, Ken, you don't really know me, and now I know it's crazy.
But you're working under the assumption that stress is actually going to start at 8 when they say
no, I know.
Oh, okay.
I know. I mean, you're talking to me like I don't do this every night of my life, but I'm fine with that. You can, but it's that one. I didn't book the other.
Yeah.
I didn't put in that I'm available for the other, but I'm just like explaining that like that's kind of the vibe.
Yeah. You're playing it in your head.
Yeah.
Like you're like, can I do it?
Yeah.
And you're like, I mean, do you go up at 8? Are you?
Yeah, I can go up first, but I'm not
So
going to do
maybe.
it. Yeah, I don't think so. But
How
but
far of a
it's
drive
like,
is it to? You know.
I think I
gotta be
mapped
45.
It like, it's
Zero
about
traffic.
45.
Oh, so no.
Right.
That's
right.
assuming zero
But
traffic.
Fairfield to Piermont was 43. But and I did make it, but it's like she had to stretch a little.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. So anyway, but even though I am a very on time person, whatever. So anyway, all of this to say that today we are in Asbury. And then I have 3 things today. So we've been on vacation all week. But with a 2 and 2 month old.
Right.
Yeah, you're technically
it's
on
not
vacation, but you're not
vacation.
enjoying it. It's,
Well, right.
you are, but you're
I
not.
mean,
You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing is like, there's so much about early childhood parenting. It's so hands-on. I think I've said this before, and it's like, it's not a joke, but it's just like a thing that I think is a good point that can be the start of something. At that age, I think kids are so dependent because of their desire to be independent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's like she wants to do everything herself, where it's like,
But she has the skills to do none of it.
none of it. Not one thing.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. You're like, you're going to kill yourself trying to get that.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But so anyway, so that's like what we're dealing with. Apparently she really likes golf. Here's why, because we did mini golf on Monday. And every single conversation since Monday, it's now Thursday, we've done other things. What did you do? Golf. Only golf. And so I think we have to, the other thing is we saw a baby on Sunday or Monday for maybe 3 minutes at brunch. And we learned that the baby's name is Leela. We've been asking about Leela the entire vacation. What is she doing? And it's like kids at that age are like obsessed stalkers.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But also, I guess so.
They're almost like they get obsessed over the one thing.
The one thing.
But then also like they only recall a part of it.
Right.
Like they recall their favorite part of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So you're like,
totally.
And sometimes you're like, oh, that's so sweet. Like, oh, you love the baby. And then you're asking these other things. And it's like, no, they just like that they got to have a snack with them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you really dig deep and you ask those questions, you're like, oh, that's what you were.
Yeah.
That's what you're.
No, I mean, we didn't even like really interact with her because honestly, her mom was cool. Her dad was a real drip. Leela's. And I mean, sometimes you just have to call it. It does.
No, yeah. It happens a lot. I mean, what are the chances? Adorable baby, I'm going to love both of these parents.
None.
Like, I mean, how many people do you interact with in your life that you just like automatically love?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Right?
That's
and
fair.
now you're forced into these conversations.
Yeah.
You're forced into these relationships when you have a kid.
Sure.
Especially when they're the same age.
Right.
I mean, there's an age difference there with yours. But you know, like the play dates and the school. And what are the chances? I mean, like, I don't get along with most people like I come across, right?
Yeah.
Like whether it's colleagues or just acquaintances, like how often you really hit it off with someone.
Yeah.
For me, it's rare to like really be like, I want to be a friend of that person.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you have these interactions that you're faced with that all the time.
Yeah. Well, and also then it's like you put in that you're at school, people have opinions about school.
Yeah.
And then it's like, even if you have opinions about school, the way that you voice them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So judgy, right?
Yeah. And it's like, you got to know when to complain officially. Right. And then it's like, you know, now we were at the stage of like, it's tipping season for like the end of camp.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I just want to be like, all of you are cheap. I don't like you, to the rest of the chat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, you're seeing what people are saying they want to give.
Yeah.
Right? You're like judging it.
Yeah. Well, because I do tip a lot.
Yeah, I'm a big tipper too.
Yeah. And I think that that's like somewhere maybe I read it or something, but like I believe that if you give dollars to a person, you get that money back times like whatever amount.
Okay.
And so I don't know if I just convinced myself of that.
Like in a karma type of way?
Yeah, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I just believe it. I'm like, in this like gross capitalist whatever, where you're like paying so much money to Amazon or whatever kind of huge corporations, the opportunity to give one person a dollar,
give it to a person,
is so exciting that like it must be different, like for whoever's keeping score of this.
I also feel like whatever job works with tips, like those are hard jobs.
Oh, for sure.
So you know, like when you're faced with a tip situation, I can see
you don't tip.
No, I do. I'm actually a good tipper.
Okay, got it.
No, I'm a good, like but I also like there's a stereotype about Jews not tipping.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Right, but I'm trying to I feel like it's on me to reverse that.
Yeah, fine.
Right? So fine. I'm like, I'm 20% my baseline.
Sure.
Like if you're shitty, you get
you
get
20%.
If you're good, we go up from there.
Yeah.
But tipping now, it's like they swing an iPad around, and I'm like, the minute I see an iPad flip around, I'm like, I'm about to tip on some shit.
I'm thinking more about like a waiter.
On.
I'm thinking more like a waiter at a restaurant, like someone's coming out, asking you questions, telling you specials, bringing you food.
Well, yesterday I had this, but I had the experience yesterday where they flipped the iPad, and then the guy behind the register was like Xing out the opportunity for me to tip. So I didn't tip.
He didn't feel like he earned it.
Well, no, but it wasn't him. And so then I was like, okay, but what about the woman who was actually like bringing stuff to the table and whatever. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to just like get $20 and like give it directly to her. So that's actually why I was thinking about it, because of that experience.
Yeah, right.
So that blends all of our views, because then you get the opportunity to go up to her with $20.
Yeah.
And so that's like probably like $2 million coming back to me. Not that I'm doing it for
totally.
that.
Totally.
If I understand math.
It's coming.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and then I don't know why he did it that way. I'm sure people don't tip then.
It's probably just like,
gross.
It's like, well, let's just cut this out. He's not going to tip. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's not going to tip. I'm not going to,
Yeah.
you know, just like that mentality of they're probably just.
Well, I know, like,
that.
there's a breakfast place by me, like a bagel place that I go to sometimes. And I know the owner.
Yeah.
So when she rings me up, she immediately X's the no tip. But I'm like, this is her place.
Sure.
So
fine.
But when I get anybody but the owner,
right.
I tip.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm very into it. And, again, I mean, I love like games in my life, like with getting from one show to another is a game.
That's one game. It's a
and
fun
like,
game. It's like Frogger a little bit.
Which one?
Frogger.
Oh.
Remember the
No.
arcade game?
Oh,
You had to
okay.
like make your way through.
So that's my whole life is that game. So, and, but yeah, the tipping is like another game. It's like, okay, how do I don't know. Like, are there opportunities for me to tip where I seek them out?
You know, it's awkward when you split a bill with someone.
Okay.
And you both have to tip on your own bill.
Yeah.
And then they are like, did you ever have that? They're like, oh, when are you leaving?
Yeah.
And then you say a number. They're like, really?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah. What? Why? You're going to leave? Then you have to have that like awkward. I'm like, and then I always go like, this is a little passive aggressive. I learned this from my mom. You just go like, well, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
But I'm fucking judging you.
I'll be disappointed.
Right. And the waiter and the server's judging you. There.
No, you can leave whatever you want. I just thought, I think $25 is right, but no, you could totally leave $7.
Right.
That's fine. That's how you tip.
Yeah. And
that's what my mom would do. My mom's a famous, that's not how I would do it.
Sure.
Oh, that's interesting. That's not how I would do it. My mom's the most passive aggressive person in the world.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's how you do it? Oh, that's not how I do it. And you're like, just tell me you think I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
That would
that's
be
what
easier.
but I do use it in moments that purposefully. Like I'm not naturally passive aggressive, but in the moment that I could use it to my benefit, like
sure.
I want that person to know they're tipping too little.
Right.
Oh, okay, you could leave that.
Yeah.
My dad was a shitty tipper, so we would have to.
Yep.
But I find like he was rich, so I find
That happens.
a lot of rich people are
You grew up
shitty. They're
rich.
shitty tippers. I didn't grow up rich. My dad was rich, but he
But he
didn't.
gave him nothing.
Oh.
No. He didn't. He didn't live extravagantly.
Okay.
He didn't. He had a modest house,
Yeah.
and he was like from Depression era parents, so he grew up as a kid.
Yeah.
And his parents were always scared the money was going to run out because they lived through the Depression. So I think he was a little.
And childhood divorce. You lived part time with your mom and
Right.
like you split
Got
that.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
But
okay.
we would like if we'd go out to dinner
Yeah.
and he would pick up the bill, we would like me and my brother would like double back and leave more of a tip.
Wow.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Like, oh, I forgot,
Interesting.
like, oh, I think I left my whatever, maybe my
So
phone,
you
and then
would
you
make
double
up
back
lies
and
in
just.
order to tip more. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Well, because if he
Wow.
was nice enough to buy you
Sure.
a meal, you wouldn't like make him feel shitty for
Yeah,
not being
yeah.
a great tipper. You just try and do it secretly.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like I had the opposite upbringing because Italian parents who like Italians like always like they overtip as like a show off thing.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Right.
like let me take it. They love peeling out the wad of cash and just like
Right.
you're watching them peel bills off the stack of
Yeah.
cash. Like my parents didn't actually have money.
Yeah.
They had, but they did give an appearance of having money.
Yeah.
Like it was like whatever little they had, they made it look like they did.
Sure.
I didn't even really realize I didn't until I got old. I was like, oh wait, you guys are like,
Huh.
you guys are really faking it here.
Yeah.
And my dad was that way, was like, he'd walk into a restaurant, he would tip before it even started, like, make sure you keep the drinks coming.
Yeah.
Like one of those
Right.
guys. Goes on vacation. Like those
That's
guys
fun.
goes on vacations, finds the servers, and like, I'm going to be here in this lounge chair all week.
Yeah.
You keep going, like aggressively
Right.
screaming at the
Right.
the poor guy at the resort. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, I'm going to be here all week. And then he's just like over tipping. It's like a show off.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
look how fancy I am.
I
type
feel like
thing.
Jews will show off like when you make like Rosh Hashanah at your house and you have like 2 different kinds of meat.
Right. You're like, huh?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of showing off because my dad was Russian or Latvian.
Okay.
And so, but like USSR. So that's why,
Okay, yeah,
whatever. But he would say Latvian. He grew up in Riga and, I grew up Jewish. I am Jewish. My wife is a rabbi. I'm pretty Jewish.
That's
Yeah,
pretty Jewish.
Pretty Jewish. Yeah.
That's really.
Well, although I mean, I went to Orthodox Jewish day school growing up, and so but my parents were never as observant as the school, and so it was this education and like, we're going to teach you exactly what we're doing wrong at home was like what we learned.
Do they keep kosher?
Well, so we did eventually, But that was really the only thing that we adopted from school. And
they did because of what you were bringing home from school, really.
Well,
right?
My theory is that my mom wanted more dishes, and that's why. Because
you need a whole separate set of dishes for
and
kosher.
Then it's like, well, but then there's Passover. We're going to need milk and meat for Passover. And then we have the nice of Passover, milk and meat, the nice of regular milk and meat.
So it's just a way to upgrade a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so interesting, though, what you're saying. Like, I feel like my parents are not religious at all.
Yeah.
And I grew up Catholic.
Okay. Sure.
Right? But I went to Catholic school.
Yeah.
And during that period of time was the only period of time when my parents went to church that I know.
Yeah.
They don't go now. They don't go. But we went because we were of that parish.
Right.
And it was like, oh, you got to go.
Yeah.
So for those 8 years, 1st through 8th grade in that Catholic elementary school, we went to church on Sundays. Never before, never after.
Interesting.
And so it was only, so what you just said was like, it kind of goes along with like the things you're obligated to do as a parent. Did they feel like, okay, we have to now keep up with that?
They completely gaslit me and my brother into like, because we would come home, or at least I did. I can't speak for Vic, but like I would come home and be like, okay, well, we're teaching about like we're learning about like prayers or whatever. So like, I'm going to like pray more. And then my dad was like, why? Like, why would you even do that? And I was like, because I'm 6 and this is what
and this is where you're sending me and this is what they're telling me.
You send me there. Exactly.
I was like, okay, sorry for believing school. Like that was the upbringing. And my mom.
Right. He didn't have that attitude toward math.
Right, exactly. Well, he probably did because like he grew up in Riga where they actually like know how to do math, and he's like, "What are you learning here?" It's like complete beginner stupidity.
Yeah,
and I'm sure it is compared, but like whatever. So that was kind of his vibe. My mom wasn't quite at that level, but she went along with what my dad did. And they were married. My dad's no longer alive, but like they were married through when he died. But I wouldn't say, I mean, no offense, but like it's not like they had a great marriage. It wasn't
like happily married.
Yeah, they were married like they were bonded together by mutual anxiety that nobody else would understand.
Right.
Which I do relate to. Yeah, there is something to that. But it's like literally their parents were both Holocaust survivors, both sides, 4 out of 4.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So a lot of that. And I think
a lot of that.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm sure it's a lot.
That'll bond you.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so my dad came to America, and within like, I don't know, 3 weeks or whatever, he was at this UJA, United Jewish Appeal party because the band was Lithuanian. Like, sounds like a great time.
Wow. Yeah.
And so they're at this party, and my dad had just come to America, so he went because like friend of a friend knows a guy in the band, Lithuania, close enough.
I know the drummer.
Right, exactly. And so he's at this party, and my mother's also there because like something with the UJA and whatever, I don't know. And anyway, and I guess a friend of her parents was there, and my mother, this was the part of the story I learned later in life, was actually going to go to Israel because she was like with this guy who lived in Israel or something. And I guess like her parents didn't want her to go. The guy was bad news, far away, whatever. And my mother's...
Sounds very Disney movie right now.
Yeah, totally.
This is the plot of Aladdin. You're describing.
Yep.
So Jafar was there. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. That's actually my dad, is Jafar. And so
I think your dad's Aladdin.
Right. Yes.
I think. Did he have shoes? I guess this is the question.
Definitely not.
So he's Aladdin. You got it.
So he's there. My dad was really cute. And I guess like my mom thought he was cute, which like isn't surprising. But then my mom's friend who was at the party was like, okay, well, you should go over and talk to those boys. And my mom was like, no, I don't want to, whatever. And then this woman pushes my mom. My mother falls. My dad picks her up. So Cinderella right there.
Seriously.
And then they started dating. She doesn't go, I guess she did. Maybe she went to Israel or maybe not. I'm not sure. But she definitely like did not go with that guy.
I think back then, if that happened, you had to get married.
Yeah. And they did.
If you fell over, another guy knocked you over, and then some man picked you up, that's it. You're married.
Yeah.
Like when's the wedding?
Right. And then a codependent relationship was born and lasted for 46 years.
Right. Yeah. As it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't mean to disparage my parents' union. Like, it's, everybody I think looks at their parents' marriage in some kind of a way. That's not like I want exactly that. I mean, maybe there are people, but like, I don't know. It's like there was a lot of drama. I think both of them, they were, I mean, you would have thought you were at an Oscar and Tony nominated situation on some nights, like given the amount of drama between my parents. And so, there was a lot of that. And I think like because of that, I didn't want that. I knew I didn't want that.
Sure.
But it's not to say that like, they were all bad, like they were really funny and stuff like that.
Yeah. Look, I think those situations, in the way you're describing it, I think a lot of times those situations are like, that's not shallow or nothing. Yeah. That is meaningful in a different way. It might not necessarily feel romantic when you think of like, okay, and us more in a more modern age, what do I want in a partner? It might not meet our ideals of like what we would look for.
Yeah.
But there is there's like a little bit of trauma bonding there with the parents.
Totally.
That's not invaluable at a certain time and place for a certain upbringing to go like, this is someone who I can rely on.
Yes.
This is like almost like a buddy who has my back. This is like my ride or die.
Yeah.
Right?
They
like,
definitely were that.
Yeah. So that's not.
Which is, I mean, I think that's great.
Yeah. I do too.
I have, so.
It's a different thing, but
I have that with my wife.
Yeah.
But I think she'll kill you.
Her oldest, my stepdaughter, always says that we're codependent. But I'm like, are we, or do we just like each other's company?
Yeah.
Well, also like, teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So also it's like ill.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
there's also that element. It's like, just stop touching each other.
Especially when it's like I'm the stepdad. It's like really, and then I don't help things. Like I'll when I
you don't help anyone. You don't help this podcast. You literally don't help here.
I'm like, I don't help the situation because like I'll poke my head in and be like, good night. I'm gonna go do terrible things to your mom.
I could. Yeah, they are right to not like.
We were watching Love on the Spectrum, which is a dating show for autistic people.
Yeah.
By the way, it's the most like heartwarming show you've ever seen. Like I loved it. Yeah. But one of the autistic dudes, this guy Connor, his brother's telling him, so Connor's interested in this girl and he thinks it might be time to like hold her hand or give her a kiss.
Yeah. Right.
So he was asking how that stuff works and his brother was laughing and he says, there's 15 steps. Like step 1 is holding hands and then the 15th step is
doing it.
Yeah. It's like the whole shebang.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
And we're watching this and all the kids are laughing. And then I just turned and I was like, I've been to the 15th step with your mom.
And that is marriage on the spectrum.
Yeah, exactly.
She knew what she was getting herself into.
Sure.
Also, 15 steps is the most, saying there's 15 steps to it is the most autistic.
Well, I think
like that is like to break it down into a mathematical.
Well, I think the brother was trying to put it in terms that he would understand.
Got it. Yeah, like these are the steps you follow to get there.
Yeah. So you like that show. So we were talking about reality a little bit. I've never seen Love on the Spectrum, but in general, I am not a fan of reality TV these days. Yeah. In general. Yeah. Okay. I was a very early adopter in reality TV. Were you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking
Real World.
Yeah. Real World season 1 and Big Brother season 1 and whatever. Yeah, because I love I would watch my friend. I went to high school in the city, and so a friend of mine lived in a building in the city, and there was one channel for the lobby. Mm-hmm. Right? Just the security footage from the lobby.
Yeah.
I watched that. that's the kind of reality TV I'm into.
Yeah, right. I could see that.
I want like CCTV of your apartment. Like that's what I like.
Like the most real, raw way to watch an experience like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so, but I think that like I desire that in all forms of whatever I watch. And so like I read, I don't know if you, I don't know why you might have read this, but like there's I think it was a great book. Phil Rosenthal, Thank God You're Funny or something like that. Okay. I don't know exactly but he's the creator of Everybody Loves Raymond and, you know, obviously like his food show and stuff. Somebody Feed Phil. Yeah. He's great. But I read the book or listened to the book because I do Audible on my mother's subscription because I'm illiterate and dependent. So I was listening to it. And it was an interesting point that he made about Everybody Loves Raymond, which is like, you know, how real it is, which makes sense because like, you know, when people talk about what's that?
My mom is Marie.
For sure. Yeah, totally. Right. I mean, it's such a great show. And it's like interesting because now people talk about how multicams are dead, but it's like really like if you think about the things that made multicams really great, not that I'm not like talking like an expert, but there's got to be something that's missing. And I feel like if you read that book, one of the things, a really interesting point he makes is that people today love reality and want reality because the stuff that's on TV isn't real.
Yeah.
And I think that there's something to that because like, you know, whatever.
Relatability, seeing yourself. Same reason why stand-up in a lot of ways hits so hard for people because it's usually topics where you can kind of see yourself in that person's bit. Like, oh, I'm a parent. I go through that. Oh, I'm married. I go through that. That right? That's the same. If you're talking about your mom, it's like a bunch of people with moms that have those interactions. I could totally see that.
I have a mom.
Yeah,
I can relate.
I have a mom. My mom says shitty things to me. Yeah. You know, like that. But I think you're like, so like that show, Everybody Loves Raymond, was like, I think for a lot of people were like, you know, if you have like an overbearing mom.
Yeah.
Like I definitely felt like my brother's my mom's favorite. By far. Like, I mean, it's like not even close.
Yeah.
And, it makes sense when you meet me, but like, but that is, and she's so overbearing with him. And then it's like a little like more like blah with me.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting because you know, like those shows, I think bring that out. Like somebody watching that will be like, okay, well, my mother-in-law,
right,
or my mom, you know, like that definitely brings you. But reality shows, do they even do that anymore?
Well, no, I don't think so and that's why I was saying like I'm an early adopter and I really don't like past a season 1, and so Couples Therapy is the one that like I think that's an amazing show.
I gotta try that.
It's really good, and I mean, I think it's good because it is so real, and to the producer's credit, like they, you know, figured out how to like, I mean, I've not like been to the set or anything like that, but like apparently the way that they hide the cameras is like really sophisticated.
Okay.
And that's, you know, that
it's not like just
therapy.
You're in the studio. It's like a little bit real hidden.
Apparently.
No, you're like in her office or at least
something that's like made to look exactly like her office or an office. I don't know. But anyway, my wife and I actually auditioned to be part of that show.
Really? Yeah.
Well, so here's what happened is like my friend has a friend who produces on that show. They wanted for some season that already passed gay people. Mm-hmm. My wife and I, stand-up comedian and a rabbi. So, you know,
pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good, I think. And, and so, you know, basically like we were super into the show watching it.
Yeah.
We thought it was amazing. I really thought it was amazing. And my wife is extremely supportive of me. And I knew that we had a story that would be compelling and maybe we would have done it. It wasn't like we knew for sure we weren't going to do it. But so basically, like, I don't know if you know this, and I don't mean this to drop a bomb in any way, but like my wife and I experienced a stillbirth. And so, and I did an album about it. My first comedy album, it's called A Very Particular Experience, is about that. That was shot on the 1-year anniversary of the stillbirth.
Wow. Yeah.
And so, and I did that on purpose, and I like talk about it in the show and whatever it is. And so anyway, and like, I don't mean to minimize that experience in any way, but like, as you may imagine, it's a real kind of earthquake of a moment in one's life and definitely in a relationship. And a lot of people, like, at least statistically, I don't know where the statistics come from, but like that can really break a marriage.
Of course.
And for us, I don't know. I mean, I don't mean to say like, well, we didn't experience any problem, because that's not exactly true. But like, we always knew we were never going to not be together. And so that didn't change. But we definitely like experienced like, like just the weight of that is really heavy. Yeah. And we did a bereavement group and we did a lot of stuff. Like we basically took any and all help that was around in that moment, but it was a huge moment for us.
Yeah, of course.
And as a result of that, we went into couples therapy and we kept getting duds. I mean, we had the worst couples therapists. Like we had this guy, I guess this was actually when we were pregnant, so it was before, but he was a sweet guy. I would say he was about 86 years old, named Marv. And he, I don't think had ever met.
I don't know why that's so funny.
Yeah. I mean, it was really. And I don't doubt that he was a great therapist to someone else. Right. But like for us, he's like, wait, so you guys are both women? And like, it was just
how does it work?
Right. Like we were educating Marv. I don't doubt that we, helped Marv.
You're like,
this
is not
marriage.
Helping us. Why are we explaining this to you?
And both of us are very like dutiful, like students. Like if you tell us to be somewhere, we're going to be that, that type of both oldest daughters type of personalities.
Right.
And so we did it until we just were like, we got to get rid of Marv. Like we got to cut him loose. And then we had Jennifer, who was okay, I guess. But I do think she was hiding a pregnancy during the time that we were with her, which we just learned because she vomited on camera once. And I'm like, that's got to be a pregnancy thing, because I don't know what else would be going on that you're literally vomiting like in the middle of a Zoom. I think you got to be pregnant to do that.
Yeah.
And so,
or you're an alcoholic, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, I was just like, okay. But also she just wasn't good. Yeah. And wait, what were we going to ask?
You think she was hiding it like out of sensitivity to you?
Yes. That's my theory.
Yeah. Okay.
But also, and it's like we were on Zoom, so I guess there's not an obligation to tell. And I don't doubt that it came up in her supervision. I mean, I've dated therapists before, so I've seen the other side of this. But anyway, so it didn't work out with her. And the thing is, it's like, with me and Karen, like we're pretty good, in the sense that like we can manage, like I watch couples therapy and I don't, I imagine like that's the great thing about that show. You got to watch it. We have to do another episode after you've watched it. I'm going to go watch it. Okay. Yeah. So the next time I'm back in Asbury, because then it's 32 minutes. From my house, it's right.
I promise I will not ask you to drive 33 plus.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll come here. But anyway, so I think what's great about it, and I'm interested in what you think too, Ken, is like you watch it and you cannot not have thoughts about how this relates to you, thoughts about what you would do, thoughts about which of these people is right or wrong, thoughts about Orna and her eyebrows and her outfit. And
something about those eyebrows makes her seem so smart.
Right.
And like she's paying attention.
Totally.
All
and
the
she's
time.
Amazing.
She's incredible.
Yeah, totally. Although I do think that her amazingness was showcased best in season 1. I think once we get the committee of like whoever diversity hire therapists, and I'm not saying I'm like anti-diversity, but there's something about the way that the circle of her peers allegedly, what I'm talking about?
Yeah, when she goes and meets with the other therapists. Yeah,
and I'm just like, I don't know what we're doing here. Yeah. And so stuff like that creeps in. It's kind of like in the real world when they started, remember in season 5 when they had to have a job?
I hated that.
I
hated
like,
that.
What are you doing? Yeah.
I don't want to watch people work.
Although, remember when Melissa from Miami was like, because they were going to start a clothing line. And then she was like, well, I don't know what to call it, but let's call it Baono, because that's all she said was like Baono, because of her, like, I guess, I don't know if it's Puerto Rican or whatever. I sound the most racist, but accent. But that was what they called it. So anyway, my friend Shira and I always say
sure
Bono.
It wasn't Buongiorno? Maybe she was Italian.
No, it was Bono. For sure. But they didn't even start the company because they were too disorganized and like partying in Miami or whatever.
Right.
But anyway, but it's like, I don't care. I don't need the gimmick. I don't need.
I know they're all gimmicky.
Right. And I feel like that's the move in couples therapy that I was like, I'm kind of out because I just like the sessions.
Yeah, but they don't spend a lot of time with the peers. But also, Orna has like a lady Marv. Like her therapist looks like she's almost 100.
Yes.
They show her in therapy with her.
Yeah. Supervision.
And she is talking about all of her all the people you see in her sessions. Got it. She's going over with her therapist.
Yeah.
And it feels like her therapist is way too old to relate to the patients.
I don't care about that part. I really just like the sessions.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's very my taste in reality TV, which is like, I don't need a through line. I don't just let me do the work.
Yeah.
And I need the raw footage.
That's
basically
that.
what I want.
Yeah. I think a lot of reality shows, even when you like them, you've got to sift through the gimmicks to get through the I watch Love is Blind, and Love is Blind is the most gimmicky thing in the world.
Right.
But I like it because of the take away the fact that they're like there's a wall, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like there is this really incredible thing that happens on the show where they have to then see the person.
Yeah, that's a good part.
And it's so good because most of them are disappointed.
Right.
And
some of them
you can't hide that, right? I've never seen a season through to the end.
Yeah.
Some of them really, you could see it all over their face, and they're like, but they don't want to say it on camera because then they're going to be there's always a villain in that in a season, and they don't want to be the person that's like, they're all aware of that now.
I bet they shoot it 1,000,000 times. That's the part that because it's like, that's why I love a season 1, because I want
before they polished it out.
Expertise. Yep. I want the thing that it's like, just give me the thing that needs to be noted.
Before the network told them they had to do all these other things to make it a more polished show.
Right. So anyway, the reason I brought up me and Car interviewing for couples therapy is because we interviewed with them. They were all amazing people, which wasn't surprising because I'm like, you guys are making the literal best thing on television according to me right now.
Yes.
And great. So it wasn't surprising that they were all like thoughtful and interesting and like, whatever. And then we had like a test. I think it was like one of the more final rounds of the interview process was we had a therapy session with like not Orna, but whoever they have on their payroll for like mock therapy sessions. And we did it with this woman, Kim. And after that session, we were like, well, that was the best therapy session we've ever had. And then they halted production for some reason. And it happened to be at the same time that we were like, yeah, we don't want to do this on camera.
Yeah.
And it was kind of amazing because like they told us and we told them like sort of at the same time. So that worked out. Nobody was upset. And then they were like, actually, Kim really liked meeting with you guys if you might be interested. And we were like, we were going to ask you for Kim's info. And so now we see
separate.
Kim.
Oh, wow.
So it's years later at this point, and she's still our therapist. And first of all, she, like Orna, extremely beautiful. Like we hang up from the Zoom and we're just like, wasn't it? Like even the way her headphone dangles is elegant. And there's just like something like amazing about Kim, and we love Kim. But yeah, so, and also like she is, I think the problem with like other therapists for us is like, because we were not at each other's throats, there wasn't like a crisis or a something like that.
I went through something similar. That's very interesting.
Yeah. And it's like, you need someone who's like good then, because like, we're not about to split. We're not killing each other.
Yep.
We just want to have an amazing connection.
And that's so refreshing for the therapist.
I hope so.
To enter at a more positive place. You're doing it more proactively.
Right.
Yes.
They're like, oh my God, please don't. Right. It's either this or divorce.
Right.
Like that's a different place.
It is a different place.
My wife and I did the same. We went to couples therapy before we got married,
right?
But not because things were bad between us. I've known my wife since I'm 15. We dated all through high school and some of college.
Okay.
Like very seriously, broke up.
Okay.
Didn't speak for 20 plus years.
Wow.
And then reconnected.
Huh.
And the connection was like
fire.
Yeah, it was like nothing had ever changed.
That's awesome.
But we had a lot of external difficulties being thrown at us. So like my divorce was sort of acrimonious.
Right.
She had some family shit going on and everything was thrown at us.
Yeah.
And we thought, let's do couples therapy so we learn how to work ourselves through this without turning on each other when all this other shit's thrown at us.
Totally.
And but we also had a similar. So after the first session, my wife was like, "What did you think?" I thought she was great, and I was like, "There's something low key very sexy about that therapist."
Yeah.
And if we've joked around about like threesomes or thruples,
Right.
I'm like, if we were serious, like maybe that would be where.
Sure.
And I thought she was gonna like turn and hand me my head, but she was like, "Yeah, there's something sexy about her, right?"
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, so I don't know that we definitely had that with Kim, like at the beginning. Now I don't know that we necessarily have it because we're sort of like deep in the work, I guess. But but she's really good.
Yeah.
And
you guys are making me feel like I need to go to couples therapy for the wrong reasons.
You just go to regular
for the
therapy.
very wrong
yeah.
reason. Yeah,
Get
but
yourself-
babe, come on. We'll get a Marv. Yeah.
Right.
Ours cut us loose after a few months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was like, she's like, you guys are on the same page. It sounds like
Maybe you
you're
guys are creeping
communicating. Or maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Maybe that
Hey,
was
we're
it.
here again.
Right.
Like we had a session yesterday. It's too soon. You're here again
You're
too
at
soon.
my house.
Yeah. Why are you in my driveway?
Right.
We don't have a. We
Like we put keys in
couples
the bowl?
therapy is the one show.
Yeah.
Like when a new season drops.
Yeah.
We'll burn through it in
Yeah.
like 3 days.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
And then you're like, I can't believe it's over.
Right.
And
well, because you feel like, as opposed to some TV or maybe even a lot of TV, you feel like you're learning more and like getting wiser.
There's actual lessons in there.
Yeah, because it's really deep. And that's the thing that, I mean, there are some situations there that, unfortunately, I'm just like, this is like a season 2 problem, or this is, like, even though the queer, like, Palestinian-Israeli situation,
that was,
I was just like, I get it, but I'm like, this is too put in the show for a reason that isn't just about, this is just two interesting people.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, I was like, I'm out. With that storyline.
Yeah.
Because
there are
see the
storylines
production
we'll
motive.
fast forward
Yeah.
through. There are
you can
couples
see the production motives though,
Yeah.
right? Like you can see the casting. You're like, I know why you're doing this,
right? And it's
that
like
makes
Orna's Israeli, so we need to see her sympathetic to the Palestinian side or whatever. I was just like, I'm just bored, and also I didn't think that she was at her best with them as a couple, and I think it was like maybe because of some of her own stuff with it, and I was like, I don't know if she's queer or whatever, with like, needing to see, like, I mean, and I understand the desire to show a sympathy for like both sides, especially if you are Israeli.
Sure.
And to show subtlety. I just don't think that she did it that well in that storyline. Is my opinion.
It didn't maybe intend. They didn't accomplish what they
but I
intended.
want to underscore that, like, I would only be giving this note if she was as good as she is in so many other contexts. And there are other contexts that aren't like political that I also think so. Like, I thought she was really I think she's her best when the guy is completely crazy and the girl is someone we like. That's when I think she's her best.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that shows something about me too. Although when it was the Orthodox and the girl was crazy, remember?
Yeah, vaguely.
Michal.
Yes.
Yeah, Michal was completely off the wall. And I think that Orna was there to call that out. And I appreciated that.
Well, when a partner is like in those situations too on TV, when you see one person in a relationship like being crazy.
Yeah.
It's also like very easy to judge as a viewer, like judge that person and go like, okay, that's the villain of this couple,
right?
And then every time they speak, you're like, this fucking asshole, like then you like rage watch with like what a bad person that person is in your mind.
Yeah.
Yes. That's we hit the pause button. Like, can you believe
you
talk about it? Yeah.
Right.
Tune in next week for part 2 of Logistics with our guest, Liz Glazer.